Hey guys, welcome back. This is the third and final video on sleep. In this video, I'm going to talk about a few things regarding sleep. The first one, I want to discuss the sleep cycle itself. Now, the sleep cycle is pretty much broken up into stages. You have stage 1, which is your light transitional sleep. Now, this takes up about 3 to 5%. Then you have stage 2, which is the bulk of your sleep. Stage 3 and 4, that's your deep sleep, and that's where the growth hormone comes into play. Then you have REM, which a lot of people have heard about. Now, your REM sleep is the most important because that's when you have your mental restoration, that's where energy is used, and your short-term memory goes into your long-term memory. Now, what happens is, as you're going through one cycle, what happens, you'll go through stages 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you'll go back to 2. Then you'll have REM sleep. Now, that whole cycle will last anywhere between 80 and 100 minutes. And during the night, you'll go through this one cycle about 4 to 6 times, okay? And that just varies depending on the person. Now, what's really interesting about sleep is that if you get less than 5 hours or more than 10 hours, you actually increase your risk of death from cardiovascular problems. So your ideal sleep time should be around 7 hours. So that's not to say that all of a sudden, if you're like, oh, I only got 4 hours of sleep last night, or I slept for 12 hours. This is an average. So if you tend to sleep less than 5, or you tend to sleep more than 10, you got to start wanting to look into that and see how you can get more of an ideal sleep, average sleep hour of 7 hours. Now, another thing that's interesting about sleep, there's a gentleman that came up with sleep chronotypes. And I have actually attached a link where you can actually take a quiz so you can find out your sleep chronotype. Now, the sleep chronotype is broken up into little categories. Like a lot of you have heard like the early bird or the night owl. So this is the same type of concept. So the first sleep chronotype is the lion. That will be considered your early bird. Those are the people that tend to go to bed early and they wake early. These tend to be like your go-getters, your CEOs. There's also what he calls the bear. The bear is pretty much like the hummingbird. This is where most people are, where they'll wake around 7 a.m. and then be in bed by 10. Then you have the wolf that a lot of us would typically call the night owl. These are the people that tend to be labeled as insomniacs. Then you also have the dolphin. The dolphin never quite sleeps. It's kind of like the lion, but can't really sleep. Now, if you decide to click the link and figure out which chronotype you are, he has a lot of great suggestions for you as far as figuring out what time you should go to bed so you can be well rested, even what time is an ideal time for you to even exercise. The next thing that I want to discuss when it comes to sleep is naps. Now, with naps, they're not suggested for people that do have insomnia or people that are depressed. Those people should tend to stay away from naps, okay? Now, for everybody else, if you decide to take naps, you want to take a nap 7 hours after you have initially woken up. You want to keep your nap under 25 minutes right before that deep sleep hits. That way you'll get energy and you'll get some alertness. Now, for those of you that want to take longer naps, you can take up to 90 minutes, just don't go over 90 minutes. If you take up to 90 minutes, you tend to get that full cycle that I talked about at the beginning of this video. This way, you'll actually wake up refreshed and energized. But like I said, you don't want to go over that 90 minutes. Some of you, if you've ever taken a nap and you've awakened and you're like, oh, I feel more tired, and you didn't really get that boost of energy that you were looking for, more than likely you probably went over that 90 minutes. Now, another good tip about sleep is exercise. If you tend to exercise on a regular basis, this actually will help increase the time that you're in deep sleep when you're in that sleep cycle. You also will increase the quality as well as the duration of your sleep. So some of you that may have issues with going to sleep, you may want to incorporate exercise into your daily routine. The last topic I wanted to discuss is supplements. A lot of people have questions about supplements. Now, this, I want to preface it by saying, please go and discuss supplements with your doctor. Don't just go out and just buy supplements. You have to educate yourself and make sure that a particular supplement is right for you. Also, supplements should not be used as long-term use, because you do want to figure out what the root issue is as far as your sleep issues and not just depend on a supplement. So some of the supplements that some people will use is melatonin. A lot of people have heard about that. Melatonin is actually a sleep regulator. With another supplement that a lot of people may have heard about or used is GABA or 5-HTP. Now those are precursors to serotonin, which helps with sleep. Another supplement is valerian and hops. Valerian and hops, they help with restlessness, hopelessness, anxiety. It also increases GABA. It decreases the body temperature, and it actually helps with women that are in menopause. Another supplement that some people will use is actually magnesium. Magnesium can help regulate the sleep cycle and also help if you have restless leg syndrome. Green tea is another good supplement. Green tea can help decrease stress. There's also magnolia bark, which can help protect your memory. There's glycine to help you fall asleep quick and get a deeper rest. There's also the guava leaf tea, which helps keeps your blood sugar regulated throughout the night. That is actually really important because some people, when they wake up in the middle of the night, it could be because their blood sugar actually dropped. So with the guava tea leaf, it can actually stabilize blood sugar throughout the night. But once again, like I said, just because I mentioned these supplements, that does not mean that you go out and you just go and buy these supplements. Like I said, educate. Another thing is, if you do take supplements after you've talked to your doctor about it, you want to be consistent with taking them. And when I say consistent with taking them, you want to make sure it's like the same time that you take them. You also don't want to mix supplements with alcohol. And you also want to drink plenty of water. So once again, like I said, make sure you talk to your doctor, your physician, before you run out and just get supplements. But I hope you guys have learned something from these tips. I hope you all have been able to implement some of the sleep suggestions that I have talked to you about. in my other videos. Until then, I hope you all have a very restful